This is the AvP Opius. It's a mid-tower ATX case that I've purchased off of eBay for £30, which I'm going to use for demos going forward. I've selected this case because it's quite open. It's got an open front. This is actually glass that's tinted, so you'll be able to see anything that I'm demonstrating inside quite easily. Being that I picked it up for £30, it is quite a budget case, and what I'm going to do is do a bit of a tour to show you what you actually get. So starting with the front of the case, it's got a funky design that goes around the sides, which actually provides air vents to any fans that are behind, and the sides are actually in a carbon style print, which is actually built into the plastic, so it's pretty funky looking. The front panel is actually perspex, but it's got a bit of a tint on it and you'll be able to see through it, and they've put the logo for the AVP on the front. Looks a little bit like a Tesla logo, but don't get confused. On the top is where you'll find the I/O ports, which are actually on the front themselves. It has pretty much the standard ports you get on any case, including a USB 3, a reset switch, power switch, two USB 2s, headphone jack and a microphone jack. You also get the LED indicators for your hard drives and your power on there as well. Next to those LEDs there is a blank USB 3 slot, but obviously they don't tend to put multiple slots on these, but you could, if you wanted to, probably fit something behind it. On the rest of the top you have a big dust filter, because it covers a great big vent in the top, which will be really good for thermals later, and it gives you the opportunity to fit two 120mm fans. Moving around to the side, the glass panel on the side of this one doesn't go full length of the case. It's like a 2/3 kind of drop, but that's okay because your power supply and cabling usually go at the bottom anyway in the basement. The glass is tempered glass and it is got a slight tint on it, but you should be able to see quite clearly through it when you've got lights on. If we take the panel off and show you what's available on the inside, you will see that actually you get quite a lot of space in this case. Being a mid-tower case, you can fit a mini ITX, a micro ATX or a full ATX board. Down the right hand side there's not a lot really to look at. There's a lot of holes for cable management, and on the front it's pretty straightforward in the sense that you can fit up to 320mm fans, 240mm or potentially a 360mm radiator. On the bottom there is venting, and it's suitable for two 120mm fans, which isn't too bad, and it's the first case that I've had on a budget that's actually got that feature. If we turn it around to the rear, we have a position for a 120mm exhaust fan, a bit of venting, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places for your I/O cards, like your graphics card and that. We have the I/O hole there, which is at the top of the case, and we have the power supply in the basement, as I suggested before. This would suggest that it's quite a modern case, and it will give you the flexibility to be able to hide much more cabling later on. Moving around to the blank side, there isn't any indentation on this, so any cable management will have to be done on the inside, but they do give you thumb screws that allow you to easily take the panel off without any tools. And we'll take that off now to show you what's behind. Behind the side panel there's actually quite a lot of space. There's a good inch worth of space here from the back of the case to where the motherboard would actually mount, which leaves plenty of space for lots of cable management, so I'm quite impressed with that. Underneath you've got your vent for your power supply, which also has a dust filter on, and you have a bank here for your 3.5 and 2.5 inch hard drives. I suspect, looking at the mounts on this, there's enough to be able to fit two 3.5s, potentially a 2.5, but there's also two positions for 2.5s inside the case, here and here. Overall that's not too bad. There's lots of place to be able to do stuff, and there's lots of holes for your cable management to go through. I would worry a little bit on the other side on cleanliness of being able to see through those holes, but you can always put some kind of plating in front if you wanted to. Underneath, it's pretty straightforward as a case. you have the venting hole for your 120mm fan of your power supply, which has this dust cover on, which isn't a magnetic one, but it just clips into this system. And you have 2 thumb screws which allow you to remove the mounting bracket for your hard drive, so you can actually install them external and then fit them in later. Again, toolless entry for them. The feet are actually quite chunky and quite deep on this case, so you're going to get quite a bit of airflow underneath, which is always good. If we move it back round to the front and remove the front panel, it gives you quite a clear view of the space that you'll have for fans in the front. Now this hole here is for your cabling to go through, so you can keep everything quite tidy, and then you have quite a lot of space here for any fans that you want on the front. What I would suggest looking at the case is that you actually fit any fans or radiators on the back, because once you fit them on the front there's not going to be that much airflow inside the front cover, because the fans will actually be quite deep into it, and that will actually restrict the flow that you've got. So you are limited on which side you can actually fit those, but I think there's enough space inside to be able to mount anything that you really want to. Again, on the top, when you move the dust cover, you'll see that there is enough space to fit either a 240mm radiator on an AIO system or 2 120mm fans. So this case actually provides a lot of areas to be able to get your cooling systems in, which is quite impressive for the price that it is. The glass panel actually mounts onto rubber pegs again, which is really good because it helps protect your glass, and that's a particular favourite that I've seen on many of the proper tempered glass cases, no matter what the price range. But all in all, I think the case is a really good buy. It's going to give me a lot of opportunity to demonstrate more things going forward in my videos, particularly around cooling and power supplies, hard drive mounting, things like that. And I'm super impressed. If you want to see more videos like this, or if you like this one, hit the like button. And if you want to see me fit more things into this case and show you how things will fit in and out, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and look forward to some of the guide videos going forward.